120 weeks ago, a couple of people had a weird idea that we'd sit on a couch, put a camera in front of us, talk about wrestling. Lo and behold, here we are, still boring you to death. Two fat guys on a couch, talking about wrestling. This is the indie news, how we start out every week nowadays, if you're not caught up to par with the way we're doing things ever since the SmackDown moved to Tuesdays. Indie Week is numero uno instead of the last show of the week. And, you know, we're not usually indie news pertains itself to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but not this week. Because this guy over here has results for a show that happened on Thursday.
Yeah, because they do stuff weird in Japan.
Well, wrestling's cool enough to be on all the different days.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, so yes, we had Destruction in Hiroshima on Thursday in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
That was in Hiroshima.
Was it? You sure? I think it was in Tokyo.
Mm.
We had Ricochet.
Last week's jokes.
We had Ricochet, Satoshi Kojima, and Hiroyoshi Tenzan defeat Captain New Japan, Yoshitatsu, and Togi Makabe. We had David Finlay, Ryusuke Taguchi, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly defeat Tiger Mask, Tomoki Honma, Manabu Nakanishi, and Yuji Nagata.
Boo.
We had the Guerrillas of Destiny defeat Roppongi Vice. We had Tomohiro Ishii and Hiroki Goto defeat Chase Owens and Yujiro Takahashi. Kushida, Juice Robinson, Tanahashi, and Elgin defeated all four members of the Ungovernables. We had the Briscoes defeat the Young Bucks. And we had Adam Cole retain the ROH Championship over Will Ospreay. There's two other matches. That wasn't the main event. Moving on, we had Kazuchika Okada defeat Bad Luck Fale, and we also had Kenny Omega defeat Yoshihashi. Not Yoshitatsu. Yoshitatsu was earlier in the show. So, that was Destruction in Hiroshima. I'm going to send it over to you for
Friday.
Some Friday results.
Friday we had Absolute Intense Wrestling's The Whole Shebang.
Yeah.
A farewell to Johnny Gargano. Sort of bittersweet. Because
lots of emotions at this show.
We all know I love Johnny Gargano as much as the next guy. Maybe a little bit more than the next guy.
Your shirt tells me different.
And he's a WWE guy now.
He is?
Which is good for him, but it's bad for the indies.
Yeah.
Because the indies loses one of their darlings in Johnny Gargano. So we had the farewell show. We opened up with Weird World defeating Space Justice. If you couldn't tell, it's Space Monkey and Dick Justice.
Oh, good, I couldn't tell.
We had the six-way scramble. Dominic Garrini, he defeated Garrison King, Britt Baker, Frankie Flynn, Brian Carson, and Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham. We had a Hot Sauce Tracy Williams defeat Shigehiro Iri. Eric Ryan defeated Sanjay Dutt, El Gringo Loco, and Sean Schultz in a Four Corners match. Swoggle, formerly known as Hornswoggle, defeated Tracy Smothers, formerly known as Tracy Smothers. Team 2 Infinity finally got to have their tag team match against the Jollyville Fuckets.
I love that name.
Last show, I think it was Colin didn't make it to the show.
Yeah.
And they replaced him with, I think Eric Ryan actually was his replacement. They ended up losing to the Jollyville Fuckets, but Team 2 Infinity would defeat the Jollyville Fuckets, which goes to show you that the team itself is better than the sum of its parts teaming with other people.
Teamwork is important. That's the moral of that story.
Yeah. How about the Intense Championship?
How about it?
Alex Daniels, with Gregory Iron in his corner, would successfully defend against Joey Janela.
Hey.
And then also another successful title defense, the Absolute Champion, Josh Prohibition, successfully defended against Louis Linden.
Hey.
And then in the main event we had Candice LeRae versus Johnny Gargano.
That's Candice Gargano now.
She still goes by Candice LeRae.
I know.
Supposedly in a 2 out of 3 falls match. They ended up to 1 fall apiece, and the match would get cut off because Gregory Iron and Alex Daniels would come out and then challenge them to a tag team match.
Okay.
Being that they are all heart, Johnny and Candice accepted the challenge, but unfortunately because they spent the previous 2 falls beating each other up, they ended up losing to Gregory Iron and Alex Daniels. So Johnny Gargano going out on a loss.
Well, I mean, you know, when you have so much credibility, you don't necessarily need to go out on a win.
Yeah.
So it's nice that he gave a little bit of final momentum to someone else who's gonna
Give a little rub.
Yeah, so someone who can run with it as they continue with the company.
Yeah. Pretty good stuff.
All right.
Pretty good stuff. On Saturday, the 24th, some surprise results heading your way because Attack Pro gave us a show to let us know that Attack Pro isn't dead.
Yeah, Attack Pro's not dead.
It is not. Thankfully.
Hence why they had a show on Saturday.
Called Attack Pro's Not Dead.
Hey.
Go figure. So we had the Chikara Campeones de Parejas
Yeah.
Mustache Mountain defeat #CCK. We had the Anti-Fun Police, Chief Deputy Dunn, and Los Federales Santos Sr. defeat Clint Margera and Sabdru Parker.
For those of you that know better than we do, is that a Sabu reference? Please post in the
little
comments.
play on Hammer Pants Wrestling.
I hope he came out with like a turban or something.
Ryan Smile defeated Officer Banks, who it might be Brett Banks, who's been on Attack Pro shows. Nixon Noel defeated the Love-Making Demon. And in the main event, we had Mark Andrews versus Pete Dunne, and that would go to a no contest.
What?
Because Nixon Noel would interfere and turn on Mark Andrews, who was her Bayside High tag partner.
Bayside High is no more.
School's out for something.
School's out for
Technically, school's in right now. 'Cause it's
School's
fall.
out for Bayside High though.
Oh yeah, shit's hitting the fan over to Tag Pro.
Closing that school down.
Now they're dead though. After that
What?
show.
No, don't say that.
I was just kidding.
Still alive.
I was just kidding.
Still alive.
And speaking of Saturday,
Yeah.
you might have noticed there's a number on the screen.
Yep.
And that's a time. That specific time is what you would need to skip to, click to, if you don't want to be spoiled about Ring of Honor results. Because you're going to be potentially seeing Ring of Honor later in the week. If
you watch it on
that,
Wednesdays.
If you have that channel. What?
Yeah.
Pop?
No.
Comment.
Pop is TNA.
Pommet. Pomegranate.
Pop it.
Twist it. Drink it.
All right. So yeah.
Whip it good.
If you're still listening, you're screwing yourself over. We open up with Silas Young taking on Toriano. Toriano spends most of this match just fucking with Silas Young, like doing everything he possibly can just to annoy the hell
As you do.
out of Silas Young. And Toriano, who is famous for bending the rules and making it funny. At one point, he's in the corner and he takes the top turnbuckle pad off. The referee doesn't see it. Silas goes to like splash him in the corner. Silas stops himself when he sees the exposed turnbuckle, turns around, and Toriano whacks him in the face with the turnbuckle pad. They end up like chasing each other around. Toriano tries to go for a low blow. Silas Young ends up winning by giving him a low blow, shoving him into the exposed turnbuckle, rolling him up, and pulling the tights. So Toriano had got all of his medicine, not even just a taste. He got a full dose from Silas Young.
To whoever came up with the proverb, cheaters never prosper, they never met Silas Young.
Apparently not. Silas Young would then continue to beat down Toriano, who would be saved by the Briscoes because the three of them will be teaming up as ROH begins its trios tournament for their brand new championships. So Briscoes making sure that they're...
Was that who they were, the never open weight
Yes,
6-man
I
tag
believe so,
championships with?
So yeah, continuing that trio from New Japan, making sure that their tag team partner is still able to compete. We had a fan-fucking-tastic promo from Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels has been wrestling for, close to 30 years at this point?
A long time.
A long friggin' time. And he, I've heard him do great promos, but this was on a whole nother level. He's talking about how, he realizes that one day he will have his very last championship match. He'll hand the title over for the last time and he'll never get it back. And he knows that, the same thing with wrestling. One day he'll have his final match. And that's something that really bothers him. He talks about, he's a husband, he's a father, but if he woke up one day and his family was gone, but he still had a championship, he'd be okay with that, because wrestling has been his life. And then he asked the Young Bucks to really think about a guy who's gone through everything. What is Christopher Daniels willing to risk? And he says everything. And he says he's not going to be the guy that time takes. He's going to be the guy that tells time to fuck off. And it was an amazing promo. So if you haven't seen it, check out ROH on Comet this week just for that promo specifically, because it is amazing.
Daniels has been wrestling for 23 years.
Holy shit.
He debuted in 1993.
That's crazy. So, yeah. So he is definitely looking forward to retaining the tag team titles at All Star Extravaganza, which I'll talk about more in the upcoming shows. So we had Punishment Damian Martinez, this is formerly Punisher Martinez, come out with both BJ Whitmer and Kevin Sullivan as he takes on poor Cheeseburger. You don't... Most of the focus wasn't on the match because you know how it's going to go. More of the focus was on the fact that Kevin Sullivan was at commentary talking with Steve Corino. Corino asks, this entity that has been passed to BJ Whitmer is called the Haze. And he asks why the Haze chose BJ Whitmer instead of him. He tells Sullivan, I did everything you wanted me to do. I left my wife and child. I did everything you wanted me to do. Why did it choose him? And Sullivan kept calling him, he says his name isn't Steve Corino, it's Buzar Mukan, which is, I guess him and BJ have some sort of, mystical names in this whole weird fucking storyline. So he spends, all of commentary just, talking to Sullivan. Sullivan's telling him all the things he did wrong. Martinez destroys Cheeseburger with a sit-out chokeslam. Him and BJ keep beating down Cheeseburger. Will Ferrara tries to come out and save him. He gets beat down as well. And then during a commercial, we see that BJ is telling Buzar, Steve Corino, that he needs to realize that they are his salvation. And it's a whole bunch of weird things. And then we go to the commentary desk, and he's holding the golden spike, and Kevin Kelly is asking him, why would Sullivan leave this out here for him? And Corino says something like, do they want me to meet him in the desert or something? It's so much weird shit in this storyline.
That's what happens when Kevin Sullivan
gets involved. It's bizarre. It's very difficult to follow when there's only an hour of Ring of Honor on each week.
There's a spoiler alert in my head.
Yeah. Because he worked with Kevin Sullivan, so he knows...
Kevin...
He kind of knows the end
God
game.
bless his soul, but he told me how this is going to play out. So I don't know if he'd get in hot water for that. But I'm not going to say anything, but it's just interesting. It's so reminiscent of other storylines that Kevin Sullivan's put together when he used to book for WCW.
Really?
Because
I never watched WCW, so I don't know a lot of that stuff.
I mean, just his storylines, like the Dungeon of Doom, and
right?
Other stables that he's been in, and other things like that. He's very good at the bizarre.
Yeah. I'm utterly confused, but I'm very intrigued as to where this is going to go. And so while this main event is going on, we have Adam Page and Adam Cole, Bebe, taking on Michael Elgin and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Kyle O'Reilly comes down because he's got some issues, obviously, with Adam Page and Adam Cole. Adam Page is actually the reason he's been out for a few months after one of his attacks after he joined the Bullet Club.
Mm-hmm.
But like during this, Kyle O'Reilly's sitting there, he's talking about all these issues and stuff, and Steve Corino asked him like, how can you like say that Adam Page is a great wrestler, but you have all this hate for him, and how can you express love for someone you hate? And I don't understand this. And then all of a sudden he like stops saying stuff like that and goes, "Oh, Kyle, I didn't know you were out here." And Kevin Kelly and Kyle O'Reilly are just like, yeah, hey, how's it going, Steve? And he's like, "Man, it's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in forever." And all of a sudden he's Steve Corino again. So total switch at the commentary table. And then he starts talking about how Adam Page is a terrible person, but he gets stuff done for the Bullet Club and blah blah blah. Anyway, that I didn't know what was going on at this point, but Elgin and Tanahashi end up defeating Cole and Page after Elgin hits the Elgin Bomb on Adam Page. So it was a good match, but I was just so distracted with the Steve Corino stuff. It kind of took me out of what was happening in the ring currently. It was a great match, but yeah, I'm so confused as to where this is going. But that's it for Ring of Honor. I want to talk about one more show in New Japan. See if I can focus on this one. All right, we had Destruction in Kobe, not Beef. Where we had Hanare, Ryusuke Taguchi, and Tiger Mask defeat Will Ospreay and Roppongi Vice. We had Chase Owens and Yujiro Takahashi defeat Captain New Japan and Yoshitatsu when Captain New Japan turned on Yoshitatsu and joined the Bullet Club.
For life.
We had Tomoki...
I'm predicting his next show he comes out is Captain Bullet Club.
I would not be surprised. We'll keep you updated. We had Tomoki Honma and Togi Makabe defeat Teruyaki Kanematsu and Hiroyoshi Tenzan.
Teruyaki Chicken Katsu?
Don't make me say it again. We had Red Dragon defeat Manabu Nakanishi and Yuji Nagata.
You'd make a tasty pair with ciabatta bread.
Okay, this is weird because I was pretty sure that Matt Sydal was teaming with Ricochet and someone else as the Never. Maybe they had to switch some people out, but it was Ricochet's team defending the Never Openweight Championships against the Bullet Club's. They're actually called the Super Clique, which is the Young Bucks and Adam Cole. But they would retain the championships. Then we had the Bullet Club's Gorillas of Destiny, Kenny Omega, and Bad Luck Fale defeat the Briscoes, Tomohiro Ishii, and Hiroki Goto.
They beat Team Punchy.
The Ungovernables defeated Kushida, Juice Robinson, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Then we had Jado, Gedo, Yoshihashi, Kazuchika Okada defeat Atsushi Kotoge, Daisuke Harada, Toru Yano, and Naomichi Marufuji. And then in the main event, we had Tetsuya Naito defeat Michael Elgin to become the new IWGP Intercontinental Champion.
All right.
And that is
it. IC Champion.
That is it for New Japan. That is it for results.
Got a little news.
We got a couple news
news stories. I'm going to come right out here and
do it.
Drew Galloway, formerly Drew McIntyre of WWE,
yes,
is suffered from a small, not super severe injury. It's only going to keep him out for a few weeks.
Yeah.
But it is putting that he has the championship match with Aaron Rex, formerly Damian Sandow of WWE, in TNA, their tournament finals. It's kind of like up in the air now, in jeopardy of whether or not he's going to be able to be there to have that match to be in the tournament finals, which kind of you would think puts them at a bit of like a sticky situation.
Yeah, and obviously you'd think that maybe they would go with whoever he advanced over in the tournament.
Yeah.
But it's TNA. We don't exactly understand how or why they do things.
I mean, the only other thing I think of is maybe they do what they did for the tag titles on SmackDown. The two other
kind of do a re-qualify.
The semi-finalists that lost get a second shot at becoming the finalists.
That would make sense.
I don't know. Maybe he'll be cleared quick enough to have that match.
Possibly.
But it sucks to hear when anybody gets injured.
Yeah.
Be it a big or small injury.
Especially Drew Galloway. He's a good guy.
He's a talented guy who gets all over the place. Too,
yeah, absolutely.
So let's get to him recovered quickly and not put such a cool title match in jeopardy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Drew Galloway versus Damien Sandow. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. You
can call Damien Sandow Aaron Rex and make it in TNA.
Oh, they made it bad. That might be the one of few things we can like from TNA. My one quick news story is Chaotic Wrestling got a little bit of a surprise as William Regal, the general manager of NXT, actually made a guest appearance as general manager for their show over the weekend. Got into a little bit of a verbal altercation with their champion, ended up making him defend the championship. It was a fun little promo. You can find it online. Check out some of the wrestling site or wrestling pages on Facebook. Videos have been surfacing of it. So
yeah, from what I've heard, he was there actually scouting talent.
He did actually say that he's always looking for more talent for NXT. So
yeah. So WWE sending Regal out to scout some talent. He was at Bola weekend.
Yeah.
In PWG, he's all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should sign Sami Callihan. He'd be a good addition to NXT.
Yeah, I think he'd do really well. Chris Hero might do really good in WWE too.
Yeah, he could just surpass NXT and go to teaming with Cesaro.
Yeah, they could be like
the
kings.
Lords of the Ring.
All right,
their little elf friend Neville.
All right, I think that's it for news.
Yeah, sure.
You know what that means? It's time for upcoming shows. Which we got a couple of them.
Yeah.
I think 2.
I got one.
I got one.
When's yours?
On the 30th.
Alright, you go first then.
I'm going first. Alright, I thought you threw the pencil at me. I'm talking about ROH's All Star Extravaganza.
Extravaganza with all the stars.
Yes. This will be in Lowell, Massachusetts, at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium. So there's a internet exclusive match. It'll be a triple threat between Evil, Will Ferrara, and Silas Young.
The Lowell Memorial Auditorium, aka the Elmo.
El. Stop it. We've got the following matches. We got a 4-corner tag team survival match for a shot at the ROH tag team titles, where ANX, Shane Taylor, Keith Lee, Dalton Castle, and Colt Cabana and War Machine will all do battle. Like your favorite team.
Dalton Castle and Colt Cabana?
Yeah, your favorite team of all time.
Oh, I know who I'm cheering for on Friday.
Keith Lee and Shane Taylor.
Fuck off.
The 6-man tag tournament begins at All Star Extravaganza. We have Jay White, Kushida, and ACH taking on the Briscoes and Toriano. Hangman Page will take on Kyle O'Reilly. Kamaitachi will take on Dragon Lee. Tetsuya Naito with Evil will take on Jay Lethal. This is all fallout from when Tetsuya ended up leaving Jay Lethal in a 6-man tag. Bobby Fish defends his ROH TV title against Banana Hands Donovan Dijak. And the first title defense for Adam Cole, in Ring of Honor at least, will be against Michael Elgin. That'll be for the World Championship, obviously. And then what I'm guessing is probably going to be the main event, because it's going to be insane, is Ladder War 6, as the Addiction defends the ROH Tag Team titles against the Young Bucks and the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, talk about 3 teams that know each other so well.
Oh yeah, they've been doing stuff together for years at this point. Like,
it's gonna be it's gonna be fun. It's probably gonna have a lot of moments where you do T-Rex arms.
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to doing T-Rex arms for something like that. It's
6
guys that I know can put on a fucking show.
6 guys in Ladder War 6.
Absolutely. I like what you did there. Moving on.
Yes, I've got one upcoming show, and it's on Sunday, the 2nd of October. Can you believe it's October almost already? It's like so close, I can taste Christmas.
Gross.
Yeah. So we got Beyond Wrestling doing a sort of double header.
Yeah, a little bit.
In Somerville, Massachusetts, which is a New England state. So they're going to open...
If you're in Massachusetts, you're getting Ring of Honor and AIW. Or Beyond Wrestling, not AIW.
Yeah, that weekend.
Yeah. So,
where they got New England Mania, which is their occasional pre-show, hey, let's take guys from a bunch of different New England promotions and jam them in an hour and a half. We got the Monster Mafia against the American Destroyers. Keith Lee versus Brian Malonis.
We weren't totally sure how to say that name.
Yeah,
I think we got it right.
Sounds right to me.
All right.
Female action, Jordan Grace takes on Alexis, and Brian Fury will take on Dave Cole.
All right.
And then Beyond opens up their Beyond only show, specific, Midas Touch.
Yeah.
You know, that's the dude who turned everything into gold.
Trust the Midas touch.
So he could never play with himself.
Oh.
Wow.
That wasn't in the story, but that's rough.
Yep. More women's action. Deonna Purrazzo will take on Sonya Strong. Hot Sauce Tracy Williams takes on Dirty Daddy Chris Dickinson in a strip-off. Just kidding. But that's what it sounds like. Sounds like strippers fighting each other. Hot Sauce versus Dirty Daddy.
Coming to the stage, Hot Sauce.
Yeah. Joey Ryan and Massage NV take on Team Pazuzu's EYFBO and Pinky Sanchez. Matt Riddle takes on the only remaining member of Team Pazuzu who hasn't been allocated to a match yet, and that is Jaka.
All right.
Jonathan Gresham versus Joey Janela. CZW champion versus CZW Wire champion.
Yeah.
War Machine versus the Hit Squad.
That's going to be...
Which team is burlier?
There's going to be some heavy shots thrown in that match. Those are some big dudes.
And then they're going to punch each other, too.
Yeah. It's another one of those matches where you're just like, wow, Raymond Rowe is the smallest guy in the match.
Yeah, he's definitely the lightest guy in the match, I think. Unless the Hit Squad have been cutting weight. But I haven't heard about that recently. We've got 2 guys who are very strong in Michael Elgin, the man baby Michael Elgin. He's taking on John Silver.
Yeah, hoss fight.
The short and stacked guy from the Beaver Boys. And then we've got Ricochet versus Tessa Blanchard happening for the first time ever.
Yeah. That's we've seen Candice versus Johnny. We've seen Eddie versus Mia Yim. Now we're getting Ricochet versus Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah, this is a new trend.
I like it.
I'm waiting for Callahan versus Jessica Havoc.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for WWE's version of Cesaro versus Sarah Del Rey.
Oh, only if she was on TV.
She's close. She's
you could also do Heidi Lovelace versus Eric Cannon.
Hey, that's one. We could do... right now we could do Raymond Rowe versus Crazy Mary Dobson.
Yeah, so, this is a cool thing that could happen, What about, like, Mickey James versus Magnus?
John Cena versus Nikki Bella.
Let's book it. They'd both win. Because WWE. That's it. That's
all we got.
Yeah, thanks for watching the Indie News.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You took my line.
I know.
Let's do this backwards. Do it.
Don't forget to click all the links down below.
All them social medias.
Yeah, lots of different ways you can contact us. Please do, though, for reals. Like, we put all those links down there for a reason. Like, we want you guys to chat it up.
Yeah.
With the Wrestling Rundown.
Which, thank you to all of you that have been talking to us. This is very cool that we're actually getting some discussion about wrestling. This is what we started the show for.
Yeah, we get a lot in the comments.
Yeah.
We want a bunch in the Facebook. Start Facebooking us. Start writing comments on the Facebook page. Start talking about stuff on the Instagrams and the Twitters and the Tumblrs and all the other stuff. The emails. There's 2 of those down there.
There's also the cloud of sound where you can listen to us instead of watch us.
Yeah, the podcast where you get the 4 weekly reviews. The indie news, which is what you're listening to and or watching now. The Rob review. The SmackDown rundown. And the midweek wrap-up featuring Lucha Underground. And the other videos, though, that you get here exclusively on the YouTube, the pay-per-view reviews, which you're about to find one for Clash of Champions.
Yep.
The pay-per-view predictions videos, and all the other fancy schmancy stuff that sneaks its way in, like Cruiserweight Classics or Top 5 videos. You don't get those in podcast form, so you have to be subscribed here to the YouTubes to see what's going to happen.
Yeah. There's also other links on this video. They're the most important links of this particular video because they send you to all the people that we just got done talking about and talk about on a regular basis.
Yeah, all the independent promotions that we know and love, like ChikaraPro.com,
ROHWrestling.com,
CZWrestling.com,
Look10fans.com,
and lots and lots and lots more. And guess what? It doesn't have to end there.
We can add more.
We can add so many more. There's so much space down there.
But it's up to you.
Like Space Monkey.
If there's another promotion that you know that Space Monkeys wrestled in, and you like that promotion, we can talk about it.
Yeah, put it in the comments, put it on our Facebook, tweet it to us, but we want links to websites, Facebook pages, Twitters, or YouTube pages where we can watch some of their stuff, see what they're all about, and if we like it, we're going to include it in our videos from here on out, in the weekly, as long as they keep up their end of the bargain. We're going to talk about their shows, and not only that, but, you know, when we bring them up on the show, you're going to get the shout out.
If you don't believe us, just ask Jamie. She's the reason we talk about Attack Pro.
Absolutely.
So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next. Fuck Jim Cornette.
Nah, yep.